Is the Premium Scream event the best way to experience Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Florida? I'm about to find out. I'm Kate from Vacay in One Day, and I'm here at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights event. But not just for any event night, I'm here at the one night only Premium Scream Night. It has a hefty price tag but features some major one-of-a-kind perks, so I'm going to be taking you along with me to see if this event is worth it. Premium Scream Night is a ticket that first started last year in 2024 and has returned in 2025. It's for one night only, the day before opening day on Thursday, August 28th. It's from 7:30 p.m. to 2 a.m. I purchased the tickets right when they came out for $375 per person, but as the event has gotten closer, I've noticed ticket prices have increased, and on August 2nd, it was already $415, which tells me the event is going to be somewhat crowded, or at least more crowded than last year. Let's go over what's included in this event for the high price tag of at least $375 per person. This event is basically a full HHN event that is one day before it officially begins, so we will get access to all 10 houses, 4 scare zones, 2 street experiences, the 2 shows, and all of the attractions that are open during the event. It is a way lower capacity than the event, so all houses are said to have shorter wait times. And the coolest thing is that we'll have a staggered entrance for just your group. This never happens during the normal event because it's just too popular, and there are too many people here, and if they staggered it, it would be like a 5-hour wait for a house. So they just have like a constant flow of people that's similar to a conga line for the houses. So I am pumped for the staggered entry. But to be honest, I'm also a little nervous for it because feeling like I'm going to be the only one in the entire house, it just feels kind of scary knowing that it's going to be me and Art the Clown or Jason, and I don't know. Hopefully it's not as scary as I'm expecting it to be, but still fun. So I'll be giving my opinion on that later in the video. The other big perk for this event is all you care to enjoy on most food and non-alcoholic beverages. So you can walk right up to any food booth, grab anything you want, and move on, which is great if you're interested in trying all the food at this event and you don't have to pay for it. This video will also feature my review on as much food as I can try for tonight. The other smaller perks of this event are free self-parking, which is a nice perk for locals or those who have rented a car. You'll be given a souvenir credential and lanyard per guest, and this is the only night during the event that you can wear a costume. They do have strict rules around that, like no masks, you must be fully clothed, costumes can't mimic employees. So if you do come to this event and you want to wear a costume, I would check the website to see all of the restrictions. And in terms of spoilers, I will be showing scare zones and experiences, but for the houses I will not be filming, nor will I be getting into any of the details of what I saw in the house. But I will give my ranking of the houses, and I think I'm going to try and do a single word that I'm going to use to describe each house. Hopefully that doesn't give too much away, but this video will be coming out after opening day, so I'm pretty sure other videos out there will be spoiling more than that. Okay, enough talking for now. Let's go enjoy Premium Scream Night. first things first, let's talk about the thing that this event markets as the best part, and that's crowd levels and wait times. Walking around the park, I did feel like it felt much less crowded than a normal night. Now, it did rain for a few hours, which most likely had an impact on the amount of people walking around, but I liked having plenty of space to move. And that's the positive. For the not so positive, the wait times were much higher and longer than I was expecting. Based on the way this event was advertised, I thought most houses would be 5 minutes, and maybe a few big IPs could see up to 20 minutes. Well, every house was a minimum of 20 minutes. Even those that were advertised as lower, I never waited less than 20 minutes. I waited 45 minutes for 1 to 2 houses, which made our night way more hectic than I was expecting. And the main reason for this event is less people, less waiting, less chaos. And I couldn't sit still once, or else I wouldn't have been able to do everything in one night. And the next thing is the staggering into the houses. Our first house, Five Nights at Freddy's, had 0 staggering and was the exact same as a normal event, so right off the bat I was let down. The other houses attempted to stagger, and some with better success than others, but none were staggered enough to have a decent impact on your experience in the house. We always caught up with the group ahead of us and always had people right behind us. And then looking at wait times all night, I would say starting at the front of the park with the major IPs and then hitting the back of the park at the end of the night was our mistake. I would always start at the back of the park and then work your way to the front, and I wish we would have done that because just looking at the wait times, they were always flipped for us. If you like to ride rides during the event, then you're in luck. We rode all 4 rides that were open during the event, which feels like nothing compared to previous years where like Rip Ride Rocket, Simpsons were open, but all 4 were total walk-ons. I didn't stop walking. We got front row every time, and we had like maybe 2 to 4 people surrounding us. And that was pretty nice, I must say. Warning though, if it rains and you get wet, you can't wear your poncho on the rides. You have to take that off. And the ride buildings are legit freezing, like sub-zero. So make sure you prepare for that. But overall, this is a pro for the event. And another good wait time experience we had was at the shows. So typically you have to queue up for Nightmare Fuel like 30, maybe 45 minutes early, and then the show itself is pretty long, so the whole thing can take a good portion of your night normally. But we walked right up at exactly 9:30 when the show started and got a decent seat. We never stopped to watch Ghoulish from start to finish, but we would walk up and catch different parts throughout the night as we walked by, which I think is the perfect thing for that kind of show. Getting into the meat and potatoes of this review, pun intended, let's review some of the food I tried at the event. Again, all food and non-alcoholic beverages are included in this, so I try to grab a few things. So grabbing food started off pretty good. I picked up the vegan walking taco, like I do every year, and a water from the Cat Lady stand near Animal Actors, and we waited no more than a minute. Tasted good, as always, but I did feel like it was lacking in the protein, and I feel like it was just like a sprinkle of the vegan chorizo on top, and the rest of it was just Frito chips. I was okay with this though because I felt like I was planning on ordering multiple things throughout the night, so having a few bites here and there wasn't a big deal to me. But if I was going to go there for a regular event night and pay money, I don't think that proportion was worth it. Next up was a miserable fail at the Jason booth. We waited 30 minutes in line. 30. For a s'more. That was soggy and tasteless and made a total mess with the red food coloring. Nah, I wouldn't recommend that. But the corn on the cob was really good. It's easy to eat on the go. Obviously very messy. It's corn on the cob. But I do recommend that one if you're in the mood for that. And that's it. I mean, the lines were so long that we settled on a pretzel that we could just walk up and grab. And it was hard and dry, like you'd expect at the end of the night. We did end the night with trying the Five Nights at Freddy's spaghetti and meatball pizza. Because why not have both pizza and pasta at the end of the night with a carb bang? It actually was surprisingly tasty, but it was totally ridiculous. I wouldn't recommend eating it with your hands, but I would recommend it overall. Honestly though, I was disappointed in how long the lines were for food, so I didn't get to try pretty much anything, and that made the event even more or less worth it because I didn't get even close to getting my money's worth. Okay, so the last thing to talk about is my personal rankings of the shows, zones, and houses. Like I mentioned before, I won't be going into too much detail or spoilers with the houses, but here we go. For the shows, there was one that was clearly better than the other for me, and that's Nightmare Fuel over Ghoulish. I know a lot of people who love this event don't seem to care very much about Nightmare Fuel, and I truly don't get that. I get that the premise and the plot of the show doesn't change much from year to year, but comparing a show with real people who are extremely talented and putting their all into the show is eons above a water show for me. And the water is pretty, and if you sit next to Richter Burger, you can get a great seat for Ghoulish, but most people stand and just that, it's a fountain show. It feels like the Bellagio to me, where Nightmare Fuel is filled with pyro, dancers, aerialists, always the blast to enjoy. In the zones and street experiences, there were what I would call 3 street experiences that I think all were fun in their own way and definitely served a different purpose. Mel's Zombies was a cute and lighthearted interaction. The Chainsaw Horde at Simpsons is finally back and filled a space that would otherwise be dead. And Club Horror in San Francisco really blasted some techno beats that brought back some energy into your body but kept things moving along and not creating a cluster in that area. When I was in Diagon Alley, I didn't see any Death Eaters. I've heard that they're around, but I got there around midnight, which is when most of Diagon Alley was closing, so it's possible they were there earlier. I just didn't see any. And for the Scare Zone ranking, this one's pretty hard for me because, one, the rain really limited the amount of time I was able to enjoy any of them, and I actually really liked all of them. So that said, though, Mutations Toxic 20s is number 4, and it's just simply I enjoyed the others more. In a bustling 1920s neighborhood, a BuzzCon truck with radioactive cargo crashes into a mobster getaway car, sending the city into toxic pandemonium. It mutates everyone in its path, including you.
What's the password? Forget the password! Open the door! Get it off me! Get it off me! I swear!
At 3 is actually my most anticipated zone, which is the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. I absolutely loved how they designed the zone and how long it was, so many nooks and crannies for you to explore. I just thought the cat attire was a little silly. I think that's the point, but I don't know, the other 2 just fit my vibe a little bit better. We're going to travel down a spooky, windy path to a mysterious home where trick-or-treaters are transformed into feral felines. Be careful or you'll be next. So in second place is the entrance zone, which is the origins of horror. We're entering a decaying conservatory of twisted vines where artists carve tributes to Halloween Horror Nights 34. And I'm so surprised because historically these zones are always at the bottom for me, but this year they crushed it. I loved the gargoyles, I loved the crows, I loved the statues. What a vibe. Which means my favorite scare zone was Masquerade Dance with Death. You're invited to a masquerade ball where bloodthirsty vampires lurk behind ornate disguises, and when their masks fall, you'll become their prey. I'm not like a huge vampire girly. I didn't all love the vamps ones, but this one, the outfits in the zone were beyond amazing. So many scare actors here. They absolutely crushed it. I loved walking through it. This is the best one, in my opinion. Okay, finally time for the house rankings. And I will say I only went through each house once, and my ranking is in no way a reflection of the scare actors. They are the reason each house this year was amazing, and I truly mean that. There's not a single bad house this year, in my opinion, and I loved every single one. But with every ranking, someone has to be last. So in 10th place, I have Grave of Flesh. Welcome to your funeral, where things are about to go from bad to worse. You'll enter your grave and then the underworld, where flesh eaters who feed on the dead will hunt you for all eternity. And while, again, there wasn't a bad house this year, I just sort of forgot about this house. So I guess my word used to describe it is forgettable. That sounds harsh, but again, the house lineup was just so good this year. And in 9th place, I have Five Nights at Freddy's. You wouldn't last one night at Freddy's, let alone 5. You're about to be hunted by deadly animatronics Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy as you flee through creepy abandoned hallways. This was the least scary of all the houses by far, which I feel like everyone anticipates that. The arcade vibe was fun, so I'm saying it gives off a 90s vibe. And in 8th place is From Slaughter Cinema 2, Hatchet and Chains Demon Bounty Hunters. They're the outlaws from hell. In this Old West town, all hell is breaking loose. Red-hot lava demons are trying to possess everyone and melting everything in their path. Your only hope? Hatchet and Chains with their mystical weapons. Love the Western theme. I don't really feel like I've gotten a lot of haunted houses over the years with the Western theme, so I was really excited about that. But the reason for it being knocked down is trigger warning. There is dead and undead horses, and that just isn't my vibe. And I didn't really get the story that well either. In 7th place is Fallout. The vaults can't save you now. Face your fears in post-apocalyptic LA, escape from the vaults to the wasteland, and confront the formidable bounty hunter, the Ghoul. And I love this series. Super happy with it, and this is a great book report of the house. My word, or words, is Walton Goggins. If you know, you know. And rounding the bottom half, in 6th place is Jason Universe. Evil doesn't stay dead. The iconic horror villain Jason Voorhees is coming for you. Step inside his terrifying world from his sinister shack in the woods to the summer camp where it all began. And the only fitting word for this house is, well, I'm sure you can guess it, that's Jason. Look to your left, Jason. Look to your right, Jason. Up, Jason. Down, Jason. All around, Jason. A lot of Jasons. And in 5th place, the house I was most scared of, and that's Terrifier. The Terrifier isn't clowning around. Try your luck against Art the Clown in the Terrifier Funhouse. You'll witness his grotesque handiwork of torture and be exposed to the spatter of his victims. It's a whole new level of gore. I was so nervous about being pulsed in this ultra gory and wet clown house. And as fun as it was, I was a teeny bit disappointed. Don't get mad at me, but it just wasn't that scary. It wasn't that wet. It wasn't that smelly. Like, they really hyped it up, so maybe my anticipation was too high, but everything was all those things, just not as much as I thought they would be. Okay, in 4th place is Dolls Let's Play Dead. Welcome to her toy box of terror. You're about to become doll size and witness the unnatural creations of a twisted little girl. You'll be hunted by burnt fashion dolls, toys she's melded together, and undead horrors in her dollhouse. And this word would be nostalgic. So cute, so fun. Loved it. And in 3rd place, and really all the ones in the top 3 are interchangeable because they are all that good, in my opinion at least. Galkin, Monsters of the North. Call forth a legend of terrors. In a remote northern village, a wicked being rises from the dead, bringing a horde of monsters and demons from the fjords to wreak havoc on the townspeople. Try to escape the belly of the beast. Wow. Scenic. Also, the scare actors in this house were the most aggressive out of every single house. I swear I was almost touched at least by 10 different scare actors. They were jumping out of their boot holes in the best way possible. And in 2nd place is a property I'm not familiar with at all, but blew me away, and that's The Horrors of the Wyatt Six. Fear is the main event. Go head to head with the Wyatt Six as they lure you through the ominous doorway to their shadowy realm. You're about to meet your match. The masks and the costuming and set design, all chef's kiss. It's hard to explain what's going on in the house because I'm not familiar with the WWE lore, but yet I still loved it. So, no surprise, my number one was actually my number one anticipated house going in, so I'm very excited it stayed at the top, and that's El Artista, a Spanish haunting. In 19th century Spain, a tortured artist moves to an isolated country manor to seek inspiration. Instead, the art comes alive and possesses him. You're about to be part of the permanent exhibition. 100 out of 10. Completely nailed it. Absolutely all-timer for me. I didn't want to leave. It's stunning, unique. Have to do it. Love it. Wrapping up the night as we leave, let's talk about this event and if it's worth it. Well, unfortunately, I have to say no. Based on my experience, this event is a one-time thing for me, and I will probably be going back to just my normal tickets with Express for future years. The reason being is I expected to be able to run houses multiple times, and we barely got through everything once before close. The staggering of the groups was a major selling point, and some houses didn't stagger at all. I'm looking at you, Five Nights at Freddy's. In the houses that did, it was only for a few seconds, and you immediately caught up to the group ahead of you. Now, I will say, I didn't feel as rushed through the houses as I normally do during the event, but I definitely never felt like I was alone in a house. Not even close. It was not any scarier during the quote-unquote pulsing than the normal conga line. Also, the wait times getting as high as 45 minutes was absolutely disappointing to me, and every wait we had was either accurately depicted or longer than advertised. In buying express during previous year's events, I never waited longer than 20-25 minutes, so this was a major letdown as well. And on top of that, not being able to get a lot of food because the waits were awful was the icing on the Five Nights at Freddy's cupcake on why this event was not worth it for the amount of over $400 per person. Now, Universal can't help that there was a torrential downpour for a few hours that did put a damper on the experience, but having to stand in puddles in the lines for 30 minutes was not my favorite thing to do. And the houses in the back of the park had some serious flooding issues. All that being said, taking operations out of it, the event itself, houses, zones, shows, all spectacular. This will be such an amazing year for HHN, and the hype lived up to expectations. The scare actors are always absolutely killing it, and I highly recommend this year's event, just not this specific event. Well, I've been Kate from Vacane One Day. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.